Hey, good morning everyone. I appreciate you guys being here for your in-processing training. I got an informative spiel that's based on the recruitment process. So the recruitment process is built around bringing young men and women into the military force, but there's a whole process that goes along with that. First, they have to be physically and academically qualified. So I'm going to talk to you about how to do that today. First thing, I'm Sergeant Caldwell. I'm a senior badge recruiter. I've put in over 20 individuals into the Indiana Army National Guard. So with that being said, I've had some experience in this, and I'll be able to pass that on to you guys while you're starting your career, and maybe someday you'll get to 20. First thing I want to cover is the pre-qualification steps. And pre-qualification, what we do is we do an APPLING-D. It's kind of like an acronym we use in order to qualify individuals, whether it's over a phone or email, just before we get them in the office. And we cover age, prior service, physical criteria, any law violations they might have, their educational level, because you have to be at a certain level, and then if you take any medications, anything along those lines, and if you have any dependents. So once we pre-qualify them and make sure they meet certain criteria, then we schedule that initial appointment. That initial appointment, we bring them into the office and we talk to them about the different features and benefits that are offered for the military or from the military to them. Because they're going to fill a slot, and then we're going to provide them with benefits and incentives in order to help us help them. But next, after that initial appointment, and we have them qualified, there's two things that we do in the office. So two things after that initial appointment, and we qualify them academically and physically. So if you'll notice, first thing we did was qualify them academically and physically over the phone. The second thing we do once we get them in the office is qualify them again academically and physically to make sure they're what we're looking for in the military service. So the first thing is we put them on a pre-test. That pre-test is based on academics in English and math. So we give them a math portion and an English portion. And if they score a certain number, then we know we're okay to send them to test at the Military Entrance Processing Station, or MEPS for short. The second thing we do is we qualify them physically. We ask them about 120 different physical questions to make sure they don't have any ailments throughout their body that would be any liability to us. Because let's face it, the military is a business, so we want to take on as least liability as we can in order to make our mission successful. We do that by qualifying them academically and physically. Next thing I want to cover is once they're qualified academically and physically, then we do what's called a projection. And that projection is based around that we feel that they're the most qualified applicant that we need, and we're going to send them to MEPS, or again, that Military Entrance Processing Station. So sending them to MEPS does nothing more than qualifies them, you'll see a trend here, academically and physically. So academically, we're going to send them to take the actual ASVAB, or the assessment test that the military gives all branches in order to make sure we're taking in the best quality, academically. Second thing they do is a physical. The physical is based around eyes, ears, throat, mouth, giving them hearing tests, eye tests, making sure that they're completely physically qualified, they don't have any pin screws or plates in their body or any ailments, and they're going to be able to complete their mission or do their job successfully, whatever that job might be. Now, with that being said, it's a 2-day process. So in that 2-day process, we transport them up to MEPS. They're going to take that ASVAB, that test. It takes about 3 hours. After that test, they move on a shuttle over to a hotel. We take them to a hotel. I heard someone say one time, we wine and dine them before we sign them. So that's kind of the idea behind it, is that, hey, we're going to treat them, they're doing some selfless service, they're trying to do something big for their country, and we just want to make sure that we're treating them with like the heroes that they're about to be once they join the service. The next morning they get up extremely early, about 4:30 in the morning they get that wake-up call, they eat their breakfast, and they shuttle back over to MEPS, and that's where they do their actual physical. Once their physical is complete, they then move out of the physical area and they go to what's called a guidance counselor. And the Army National Guard guidance counselors are sitting there. Once they're academically and physically qualified, then we write their contract. And they can enlist in whatever job that they were qualified for that they they chose, they picked their basic training date, and they are qualified to join the military service. They move down the hall, there's a swearing ceremony, they raise their right hand and make it official. And when they make it official, they're officially in the military and ready to serve their country. So in conclusion, today I wanted to educate you guys on the process of military enlistment. And I did that by showing you that how to qualify an individual academically and physically, and what steps we have to do that in. It's done 3 times before the individual is actually in. That way you know who's fighting for you is the most qualified individuals that the United States has to offer. So I appreciate you guys' time. I thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful day.